So I'm back again with a new episode, new day, new piece. And so let's get right into it. Today's piece is Heartbreak on a Friday. It was actually a heartbreak on a Friday. It was very, very sad. But anyway, let's get right into it. Heartbreak on a Friday. It happens that it ended as a sad story. Obviously against what we had hoped for. But in spite of the nostalgia and sentimental attachments, we never really knew what we wanted. It takes time for scars to heal and eyes to open. And so that's the piece, right? Now, the reason why I wrote this piece was actually as a result of an experience I had. I had been in a relationship for a certain period of time. And after that period of time, we came to a conclusion that we weren't moving forward. The whole thing had become very stagnant and we're having issues. And so after about a 3-hour phone conversation where we were advising each other and, finalizing the whole thing, we finally did break up. And after that experience, I believe that sometimes maturity means knowing when to stop something when it isn't helping both parties. I mean, for the good of both parties, right? And so sometimes maturity means that, and in my head, but then after that you realize how much you have grown and how much you have come to understand certain things, right? So let's go through it quickly. Obviously ended as a sad story, so that is how the piece begins. And there were certain things that we had hoped for. I mean, when you start a relationship fresh and you have a whole lot of expectations, you are saying things, you are doing things. Oh, we will give birth to 5 children and we'll live in a mansion in Transylvania. Just say, and yeah, easy at all. Like you're going on and on and on with all your expectations. So you did have expectations, right? And I know that a lot of you will relates to these kind of things. And so yeah, but in spite of the nostalgia and sentimental attachments, we never really knew what we wanted. So that part basically is what it is, right? When you do break up with someone, I mean, if the breakup wasn't very like terrible, like the way a lot of breakups usually are, and you actually had a heart-to-heart with the person and came to a conclusion that this wasn't working, you realize that you still have a lot of nostalgia and sentimental attachments. Like you think about the person and you're like, so this thing has come to an end after all that we did. Sometimes you go through your pictures and things and you realize, Charlie, so this thing has come to an end. And that is how it is, Charlie. But then in spite of that, when you look back, you realize that you really didn't know what you wanted, right? You had certain expectations, you had formed a certain utopia of a perfect relationship in your head, and it didn't happen, right? And so like it's very sad, but yeah, it's how it is. You got to deal with it, yeah. And the last part, it takes time for scars to heal and eyes to open. I mean, it's true. Time heals scars. At least most scars. Therapy does too. God does too. And so for me, I've come to a certain conclusion that if I do like someone, instead of jumping into a relationship and giving all this boyfriend-girlfriend tag, I mean, if both parties want it, a boyfriend-girlfriend tag shouldn't necessarily define that I'm into this person, right? I believe that if I like someone, I should initiate some kind of intimate friendship, and that basically means that both parties are actively involved in helping each other achieve certain goals and aspirations, and are actively involved in bettering one another. Anyway, so you get the point. So that is my view, right? And that is the reason why I wrote this piece. After about 2 years of being in a relationship, I finally broke up and my eyes were open to certain things and I understood certain things. And so right now I'm slowing down. I'm really slowing down. And so that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you people enjoyed this thing and you learned stuff. I mean, my aim is not to teach, but then I really hope you enjoyed, yeah? And so, yeah, that is all we have for today. Until we meet another time, God be with you. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. Me that I'm sitting here talking about relationship plenty. Hey boy, I'm single as a Pringle. Ready to mingle. Fine boy, no pimples. Literally short and simple. With dimples. You like my wordplay, I understand. I know you like my wordplay, but Charlie, hey, we are talking about relationship. It's pain and quan that I've been through, massa. But it's all good, it's all good, it's all good, it's all good. I'm enjoying the single life. Am I enjoying the single life?